Bad to the bone.
Hey, it's Charles Folkart on February 9th, 2017, 6:25 a.m. and it's 16 degrees outside. I welcome everyone. There's lots to talk about. I'm going to get right to it. It's good to see white people actually doing something rather than talk. Let's go have a look, shall we? I didn't watch the Super Bowl, so I don't really know what all this is about, but apparently there were some ads by this company, Lumber 84. And so Trump supporters are calling for a boycott of several companies. I think Coca-Cola was one of them, and Gia and other companies. So I think what they ought to do is they ought to boycott the Super Bowl next year. See? If nobody watches the Super Bowl, that would take care of a lot of problems, but people aren't going to do that. You know, they still want their drug. They just want it the way they want it to be. But hey, we got to start somewhere. I didn't watch the Super Bowl, and I've only watched one Super Bowl. I have a confession to make. I had a friend of mine who begged me last year to go watch the Super Bowl with him. And I didn't want to go, and he kept begging me, so I went, and it was the biggest waste of an afternoon that I've had in years. But he was a friend of mine. He wanted me to go. I went. I'm not going to anymore. Nobody's going to get me to watch a Super Bowl ever again. I'm done with Super Bowl. But let's move on. So that's good news. That people are actually doing something. They're going to boycott these companies. And this is related, and it's the number of lost subscribers over the last several years for ESPN. See, I don't have a Talmud vision, so I don't watch TV, and I got a lot of other things to do besides TV. But it's good to see that they've lost 3 million subscribers. And they have 86 million. See, that's 86 million subscribers, too many. Look at all the money. I don't know what it costs for ESPN. If it's $9 or $10 a month times 86 million, there's a lot of money there that people could be using for other things. We could, if all the white people would just stop supporting these other anti-white corporations, think of the money we would have. And you add that to guys like Hagee that are taking money from the duped, gullible, naive, but good-hearted white people, white Judeo-Christians, which is an oxymoron, and then sending that money to Israel and the Jewish people while he skims off his part, his percentage. Anyway, that's another topic, but it is related, folks. So we could, you could put ESPN out of business, but you got to have your sports, because you think you're macho when you're watching somebody else who's in shape and is actually living their dream. You think you're macho because you're wearing the jersey and the hat and your team is winning, but you're basically losing because you're not participating. You're not out on the tennis court playing tennis. You're not out on the track or in the pool swimming or on the treadmill or on a walk or doing something. You're watching other people live their dream. And in my book, that's being a loser. But hey, not everybody can be a winner. Let's move on, shall we? I'm over here at this website. I just happened to pick it out on a search and it ended up here. There's a boycott Netflix happening. Netflix to launch Dear White People show. I mean, can you imagine a Dear Black People show or dear Jewish people show. And so people, white people, are finally getting pissed off. They're beginning to see it. They're beginning to see what I saw years and years and years ago, and that's why I don't have a TV. And it's not just these kind of shows, in your face shows, it's the programming that most white people don't even see. They lay back on their recliner and they get in the alpha state and they allow the Jewish controlled media, Hollywood and the television, to program them to need a new truck, to want this new device. You need a new phone. You need that LG flat screen, and it just gets you into debt. You've got to go out and have it. You're not cool. You're not with it. That Mr. Jones next door is ahead of you. You got to stay up with the Joneses, and they just program you. That's why they even call it programming, folks. It's television programming. So anyway, it's good to see that they're going to cancel their Netflix. And just think how much money there would be there if the American people would stop supporting the programming that's anti-white altogether. Altogether. We could form an alternative media all on our own. But people, maybe there's still hope. People are catching on. Let's go to the very last point I'd like to make. Over here at the Daily Caller, and this guy, Bill Kristol, he gets the echoes around him. Those with eyes to see and ears to hear will know what that means. He's calling white working class lazy, and we should be replaced by new Americans, and in other words, non-whites who actually do want to work. And I scrolled down here, and I was reading here, and he was talking, this guy, Kristol, he's talking to author Charles Murray, and he's talking about this book here. And I happen to have this book, and it was written, I think, a few years ago. And I bought it, and I've been reading through it. So that caught my eye. But anyway, this guy, William Kristol, he thinks that Americans are basically decadent, lazy, and spoiled when he quotes John Adams, which is true. I agree with that, and that's why I'm calling for a general strike by white productive people, especially white males. You young white males need to go on a strike, and you need to show these guys like Bill Kristol who runs the show. Just a one-day strike. Just one day. We still got plenty of time, either the day before tax day, April 15th, or the Monday after. Let these people know who runs the show. Shut down all the airports. Air traffic controllers are all white. Airline pilots are mostly white. I mean, the list goes on and on. We could shut this country down for one whole day and let these people know, like William Kristol, who is lazy and spoiled. He lives off of us. These people, these other people, these non-whites are living off of the productivity of us working white people. We pay the taxes. We do the work. We're the innovators. We're the creators. And we need to let these people know that this show would come to a screeching halt if we weren't working. Thank you for watching, sharing, liking, all that other stuff. I appreciate it. And embrace the love of the truth, because it'll keep you from being duped. Oh, I found another website I would like to bring your attention to, or bring to your attention. Let's go have a look at that. Oh, and a great movie from back in 1958. Let's go have a look. Yeah, I almost couldn't believe this when I saw it. Look at this, a 1950s Western featuring a con man named Trump, promising to save the world and build a wall. It's only 3 minutes and 49 seconds long, folk. I really um, suggest you watch that. I've already subscribed. I've been a subscriber for a while. This guy's got quite a few. I'm kind of jealous. Look how many subscribers he's got. But him and I agree apparently pretty much alike. So I want to say kudos to you, buddy. And I recommend you watch this. It's pretty interesting how that long ago the predictive programming, and this is no coincidence, folks. There's a lot more going on in this world than we realize. So anyway, may the grace of God, our Father Yahweh, be upon us all, unmerited favor, for we certainly need it. See ya.
Bad.